Hi guys. So listen, I suppose today's class is about just refining maybe what we did yesterday and looking at the solutions from yesterday's work and catching up with that, and also kind of setting ourselves up for our live class tomorrow morning. Um, so we're going to look at the details around this question here. It's question 16 on page 267 in your books. Okay, so I'll post the question with it so you can see it. But essentially, this is kind of I suppose, the long question in financial maths, and it's where we want to save a certain amount of money from now until when we retire, but then we want a payment every year for a certain amount of years, all right, at the end. So essentially, what they'll ask you is, what do you need here to guarantee us a certain payment for a certain amount of years there, right? Future money received gains interest. So if I'm receiving €45,000 every year, that €45,000 is in the bank, which means that €45,000 is gaining interest. So the value of €45,000 that the bank wants to pay you, or the pension fund is going to pay you in 3 years' time, they don't have to have €45,000 in their account now, because that's going to gain interest. So it's just thinking about that. So you can treat it like a mortgage is one option. So it's like a yearly repayment of €45,000 on a loan received when you retire. So it's like the bank gives you a loan here, and you're going to pay back €45,000 every year, which means the interest is added on from your side, even though that's not necessarily what the question is talking about. But you can do it that way. The other way you can do it is we can change future money back to present money by looking at the following formula. And it's, if I'm getting paid €45,000, I can divide it by the interest to bring it back to our present value. So when we look at this question, we have two options. One, we can go, okay, that's €45,000. I'm going to pay €45,000 every year on a loan that I don't know what it is. And the interest, because I'm getting it yearly, I keep the interest as a yearly interest rate. So it was 3.4%. It was 30 years, right? So I can do it that way. The other way I can do it, and this is probably, it's easier to explain this way, but it's a bit more complicated. Whereas people find it harder to see this way, because you're talking about comparing a mortgage and them giving you money. But if you think about it this way, this is like you getting out some loan. You're going to pay back €45,000. Obviously, you're going to pay back more than what the loan was, because you're going to add the interest onto it. Okay. Whereas here, you're going to change. So the first €45,000 that they give us will have gained 1 year's interest. So if I want to change that €45,000 back, I divide by the interest rate. The following year's €45,000 will have gained interest for 2 years. So if I want to get the present value of that, I divide it by that. And what I'm doing is creating a series. And I want to find the sum of it. I want to find the sum of all these future values of €45,000, and I want to bring them back to present values and add them all together. So you can see here that it's €45,000 divided by 1.034 is A, or is 1 over 1.034, and N is 30. So what I'd like you to do in today's class is I'd like you to complete this question, and the way you complete this question is by plugging all this into your calculator and getting a number for it. P times that gives us 45,000. So how do we get P? We divide by whatever this is over here. For this question, I want you to fill in what A is and what R is and what N is into this and find out. And just check, do you get the same value right here and here when you do these both two questions? Okay. Once we have what we need when we retire, the question then turns into a question that we have already done, right? And it's, what do I save each month to have a set amount after 30 years? Right? So we know what this value is, and we're back to here. Okay. Because I'm saving monthly, I have to change 3.4% to a monthly rate. Right? The time is 360 months. Right? So I don't know what I'm going to save. I will know what the interest is because I need to do this here. Okay. And obviously my first installment is going to get 360 months interest. My second installment is going to get 359 and so on. So the sum of this sequence, I still don't know what x is. I'm gonna try and find out what x is, but I will know what I wanted to add to. Because what I wanted to add to will be the answer to this here, will be p and whatever that is there. Now, I'm conscious that this is a complicated start, but it is the last question, and we are going to look at it live tomorrow. But what I want you to do for me is I want you to take down the notes, all right? Take down the few bits that I have here. I want you to complete these two, all right? And find and see, can you get the same answer, or do you get the same answer? And I want you to take down this here as well, just to remind us. But we will talk through a full question tomorrow. And the good thing about this question is when you look through it on page 267 in your books, and I'll post the picture as well, is they don't change very much. So all the changes is really the numbers. So we have to look at that question and get used to that question. And hopefully tomorrow in the second class, you'll be able to attempt a few more of these and see where we go from there. But it is the last question we're looking at in financial maths. We've done really well so far, so just keep up the work. And remember, I want to see work. Okay, so obviously today there'll be nothing because it's kind of in preparation for tomorrow, and I'll get you to read the book as well. I'll put up the page as well to look at an example, but it's really just in preparation for our live class tomorrow and working through that. Okay, thanks guys.